The ability, gone. The anime, acted as if it didn't exist. And in the manga, Ash Greninja didn't even exist in the manga. Judging by the title and thumbnail of the YouTube video, you guys have clicked on this for one reason only. Is Ash Greninja retconned? A common misconception among Pokemon fans. And you heard me correctly, I said misconception, because the Pokemon company themselves have even acknowledged Ash Greninja's existence. And I'm going to be explaining how and why Ash Greninja is still canon. The main issue that revolves around the whole Ash Greninja isn't canon argument is due to this image right here in the Journeys anime. So in this image, Ash tries to recall his fight against Alon in the Pokemon League from XYZ. And in doing so, we don't see Ash Greninja, but rather regular Greninja against Mega Charizard. And fans just assume that they retconned Ash Greninja for this, and then shortly after that, once Gen 9 released, Battle Bond was changed, and was changed to a whole different ability. And I'm going to explain to you why this doesn't mean they're retconned, and why the Pokemon Company have blatantly shown this. Now, before we start with the reason why Ash Greninja isn't retconned, let's start with what retcon even means. So when something is retconned from a story, it means that certain something or someone doesn't exist, and it's to be taken as something that is non-canon, meaning like, for example, if character A did something in the story, and then that character is now retconned, the things that he did in the story prior now do not exist. Now let's make 3 boxes to make sure Ash Greninja is truly quote-unquote retconned. Number 1, is the impact that Ash Greninja left off still visible and still existent? Number 2, is the form itself still existent? And number 3, do the Pokemon Company still acknowledge Ash Greninja's existence? Now let's go through these one by one, starting with number 1. Is Ash Greninja's impact still visible in the Pokemon franchise? Now looking back in the XY, XY Kalos Quest, and XYZ anime, Greninja was a main focal point of that series. It was practically one of the main reasons to watch the show, really. Ash Greninja also had a major impact in XYZ, specifically with the energy vines created by the Lysander team, aka Team Flare. And Ash Greninja had to stay behind. The main reason for that, Ash Greninja was the only Pokemon who can sense the roots and vines underground, which was something Zygarde couldn't even do himself. So the effects and impact that Ash Greninja had in XY still lingers in Journeys. We know this because Ash Greninja, or Greninja specifically, was able to destroy and still sense the vines like he was doing in XYZ, meaning Greninja in XYZ, or his part at least, is still canon. We still see him destroying the vines, meaning this role he played in XYZ prior to Journeys still exists. Before we continue on and check out this box, let me answer a few questions you guys might have. Why wasn't Greninja in Ash Greninja's state then? And that's a simple question to answer. It's simply that he didn't have Ash. He didn't have someone to bond with to regain that form. We know that the form isn't like a long time thing, it's a temporary thing similar to Mega Evolution, so it's pretty safe to assume that it just ran out, just like any other temporary form. So we can pretty easily check out this first box. Now let's move on to the second one. Is Ash Greninja, the form, still present in the Pokemon anime? Now you might see a comparison between the second box and the third box. The second one being, is Ash Greninja, the form, still present in the Pokemon franchise? And the third box being, does the Pokemon Company acknowledge Ash Greninja's existence? The reason these two boxes go hand in hand with each other is purely because of the fact that if Ash Greninja is still present in the franchise today, in present time, then that would mean the Pokemon Company would then acknowledge the fact Ash Greninja is still present and existent because they themselves put it in there. So both complement each other in that regard. These two boxes are very important as to why Ash Greninja is not retconned, because if the Pokemon Company acknowledges that Ash Greninja is still a thing in the Pokemon franchise, and what that obviously means is that Ash Greninja would be canon. But to actually back up what I'm saying, we need to find a clear-cut example of this. What example, you might ask? Well, none other than one of the most recent Pokemon medias, the Pokemon Journeys anime. I'm specifically talking about the Aim to be a Pokemon Master series featuring Ash and commemorating his send-off after the events of the Journeys series. And I know the Ash Greninja haters are going to be fuming after this, but this is the clip where the Pokemon Company acknowledges Ash Greninja's existence. And as you see here, this is a opening from the Aim to Be a Pokemon Master series, and they showed Ash Greninja not only once in the dub version of the opening, but in the Japanese version of the opening as well. And I know there's already going to be people typing in the comments saying stuff like, oh, this is about like Ash's memories, this is just in an opening, it doesn't count, which if you are typing something along those lines, you're already proving my point even further. Which brings us back to the definition of retcon in general, which why would the Pokemon company, right, retcon Ash Greninja as you say so, and then further brings it back and puts it into the opening of the finale of the freaking series. So by putting Ash Greninja in the literal opening of both the Japanese version and the English version of the main series anime, the Pokemon company are actively going against what retcon even stands for. And not only that, but the opening is literally a retelling of all of Ash's prior events, all of the canon events. They're not non-canon moments, they're actual things that happen throughout the history of Ash's journey. And even if you want to disregard all of what I just said, and even if this whole opening ordeal didn't exist, the Pokemon company sent out a YouTube video on their official YouTube channel listing out all of Ash's best Pokemon fights. And man oh man, guess which fights did they put in that video? Yup, you know it, you guessed it, Ash Greninja's fight in the Pokemon League. Further acknowledging the fact that Ash Greninja still exists and is canon to the franchise, and is canon to Ash's journey. So this is all proof that the Pokemon company is going against retcon. It's literally pointing nowhere near to retcon. The principal retcon is literally the erasure of a character or an event, and in this case scenario, they're further acknowledging Ash Greninja's existence. They're literally pouring their soul to make sure it's not retconned at this point. And then there's this clip of Ash and Journeys literally describing how it felt to fuse with Greninja, which he literally describes the definition of fusion. So yeah. So don't worry, Ash Greninja is here to stay. And Ash Greninja haters, if you're watching this, don't worry, the Frog Ninja won't be leaving anytime soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll give you a nice warm hug for Christmas. Merry early Christmas to all of you, and I just wanted to say, go watch this video or that video about the Ultra Dark Ruined Timeline if you like scary stuff. I know it's not Halloween, but it's a fun video. Anyways, love you all, peace.